everybody. I am Alpha Blackwing, and I want to welcome you to this video. It's a little tip video that I'm going to tell you. This video will help you to make a decision if you want to get a dog, or you're thinking about getting a dog and you're not very sure on it. There's a lot of people in the world who think like, oh, I'm going to get a dog. And what happens is they end up not realizing the responsibilities, the financing, all the stuff that goes in it. Because when you purchase a dog, you're into a 15 or 20 year commitment with that dog or any pet you decide to get. You know, any type of pet that you decide to get. You know, you're in a commitment. So you gotta remember that. You gotta remember when you get a dog, you know, you're committing yourself to that dog or a cat or a bird or whatever you want to get. Okay, first off, before you say, oh, I'm going to get me a dog, please always reconsider and think everything through before you actually do something. Because what's going to happen is if you don't think if it's a good idea, then you're not the one that's going to suffer. The dog is going to suffer, because I know a lot of people, they get dogs and what happens is it doesn't work out, and the dog either ends up back at the pet store or back at the shelter where you got it from. So first off, the first thing you must do is think about it really good. Think about, is the dog going to fit into your lifestyle? You know, that's the first thing you really need to do. Think it really clearly before you go and get the dog. Okay, so that would be my first thing, is to actually really think about it. Two, the second one too, whatever dog that you decide to get from any breed, do your homework first. It took me about 4 years to do my homework before I got Charlie, before I got Shadow. So I would say do your homework first. Do your homework. Research the dog. Research the breed. Get a book, go online, pick up a book, study the breed, and also ask people who have that certain breed. Learn what you're getting yourself into first, and say, hey, can I handle this? Hey, this is not going to be a problem. If the dog is too much work and too much maintenance for you, don't get the dog. Because you're not going to suffer, the dog is going to suffer. You know, getting a pet's a big responsibility and big commitment. Number 3, money, which is financing. When you're getting a dog, you're also adding on another bill onto your finances, and that's including vet visits and unexpected ones. You gotta remember those. Food, toys, and extra stuff that you want to get for your dog, like shampoos, brushes, toys, medical stuff. You gotta make sure that the dog's lifestyle doesn't affect yours. You want it to be a pleasurable experience for you. Like, you know, say like you get the dog, all of a sudden the dog gets sick, you have to take it to the vet, and then boom, there's your high price vet bill. And that could set you back a little bit, unless you're prepared like I am. 2, don't let your dogs, you know, the dog that you're getting, its money problem be a burden. If it's a burden, bird in, then don't get the dog. That's why you have to really think about it before you bring in another pet. 2, time. Most of your time is going to be dedicated to your dog. So you got to remember, you have to give up some of your extra time out of the day and spend time with the dog. It doesn't mean get the dog sits in your house and be bored and don't do anything all day. No. You have to take the dog to dog parks, walk the dog, play with the dog, love the dog, be affectionate with the dog, and, you know, have those nice warm moments with the dog. Don't be like most people, get the dog and then just don't do anything, because that's, like I said, it's not fair to the dog. Another thing is, my most important thing is love. Give your dog a lot of love and attention. And because your dog can be more than just your dog. My dogs are more than just my dogs. My dogs are my children. They're my best friends. They mean the world to me. They mean everything to me. They're like my most valuable treasure. You know, I like a whole lot of things. You know, I like Wolves Rain. I like Off-White. That's a web comic, everybody, if you want to search it on. I love Wolf Blood, and I love wolves, and I love Okami, and I'm a gamer. I love all those things, but they're not my prized possessions. My prized possessions are my dogs. They mean more to me than all the stuff that I have. If I had to give up my stuff to save my dog's life, I would do it. Because them not being here is like, it's like a lifeless cycle. Like, my home is just not a home without my dogs. That's why I have the thing on there, a home is not a home. I mean, a house is not a home without a husky. See? Right here. Right there. There we go. A home is not a house. I mean, yeah, a house is not a home without a husky. And that's true. And my most famous final tip of all is where you get your dog at. Okay, if you're gonna get a dog, please, I beg you, avoid pet shops. Avoid them completely. Breeders are okay to go to, but only a responsible breeder that cares about the dog and not your money. Don't go to a backyard breeder because all they want is your money. They don't care where the dog goes, how responsible you are, or if you can't take care of the dog and he's not willing to take the dog back. You know, backyard breeders, once you buy the dog from them, that's it. You're stuck with the dog. If you go to a responsible breeder, a really responsible breeder, if they will make you sign a contract, understatement that you are going to take care of the dog, and if you cannot take care of the dog, then you are regardless to return the dog back to the breeder. Now, only go to a responsible breeder. Don't go to a backyard breeder. And do not go to a pet store. My most best bet, please go to a shelter. I mean, like I said, it's okay to go to a responsible breeder, but your main direction should be a shelter. Because the reason why is there are thousands and thousands of dogs in shelters that need loving homes. I mean, Charlie came from a shelter. And that's the first place I went. I didn't go to a breeder. I went to a shelter. And there's thousands of dogs there. Thousands. And they need loving homes. And some of these shelters, if the dog doesn't get adopted, it gets euthanized. It gets killed. So it loses its life because it couldn't get a home, because there are some killing shelters out here Charlie came from a killing shelter, but I saved his life, and I'm glad I did. So, you know, if he had stayed there any longer, his life would be gone. So I actually saved his life. So I would say the main thing for you to do is please go to a shelter first. Don't go to a pet store. If you're going to go to a breeder, go to a responsible one. But I really suggest you go to a shelter. Shelter should be your first option, always. Because vets love it when you go to a shelter. They just love it. They rather you go from a breeder or a pet shop, they rather you go to a shelter. And my most final thing of all is just give your dog the most loving, tender care in the whole entire world, or any pet that you're going to get, and you'll have a friend for life. So I hope that these tips help you. Oh, one more tip. If you get a puppy or a grown-up dog, that's another thing. If you don't really have the extra time to take care of a puppy, then get a grown-up dog like I did. Unless you have someone else at home to help you take care of the puppy. Not if you're gonna be out all the time. You know, you got adult dog and you got puppy. You know, you can pick between the two of them. Like I said, just make sure you do your homework, study the breed, study the breed, learn what you're getting yourself into, be prepared for, you know, money, financing, food, toys, and all that other extra stuff. And don't let the dog be a burden to you when you get it. Let it be an enjoyment. Because my dogs are always enjoyment to me. They're never a burden. And you'll be bringing yourself home the most wonderful pet in the entire world. Like I said, I hope that gives you enough understanding and enough knowledge. Tips, name of this video, tips if you're deciding on to get a dog. I am Alpha Blackwind. Thank you for watching this video. Please comment, please rate, please subscribe, and please subscribe to Gone to the Snow Dogs. And may the spirit of the wolf be with you until we meet again next time in paradise. Okay, bye.